All right, let's get back to talking about the fuel subsidy issue. And I'm being joined by the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajaero. Comrade Ajaero, it's good to have you join us on the news. You were at that meeting live yesterday, and we saw your submission after the meeting. Give us an overview of the position of Labour with regards to subsidy removal at this time.
Very much. Well, the position of Labour is clear. We are yet to, just like other Nigerians, identify what is actually called subsidy. And Labour has called for the investigation of this reign of subsidy before now. We can't gloss over this. For a long time, people have been saying there was a subsidy regime, and then all of a sudden it disappears. The preliminary report from the Farouk Committee, shows a lot of fraud that is associated with this so-called subsidy. And if you say you are removing subsidy, the petroleum product is being subsidized, the position of NLC is that there must be an alternative. There must be an alternative. If we are not going to drink Coke, do you have Fanta? Do you have Sprite? That's where we are. And we can't say that it is not the business of government to know how we fare. And we can't be exposed to the market. And we can't have crude here. And then we can't refine it. That's what is at the issue. If we adopt the IMF model of import parity, we continue to import. And if we continue to import, there will be unemployment. The economy will be down. And we continue to talk about subsidy. But if we adopt, the OPEC policy of production, then there will be employment, there will be prosperity, there will be petroleum products here, and at affordable price. So we have to decide we want to adopt, and not just one side thing that we must depend on importation. What the federal government has done now is to say everybody must depend on importation, and whatever you import at dollar rate, you sell it at that same rate here. When we don't collect our wages in dollar. So those are issues that the position of Labour is clear.
Let me follow up with asking you that funding subsidy has been the major challenge. And if we follow the PIA, we should exit subsidy regime. Refining, many will say Dangote refinery is now on stream. We expect Port Harcourt refinery to also get on stream. How long would we have to wait, continue to borrow to fund subsidy? That's just my question, that understanding that aspect. So which do we go, the chicken before the egg?
Why are we talking of PIB bill and removal of subsidy? Which law introduced subsidy in the first instance? Because we are overflogging this. The issue of subsidy you are mentioning is a matter of incompetence and gross negligence on some established institutions, like the refineries. Now, if you neglect the refineries and you are not refining, and there's no petroleum product, and you decide to import, and you decide to add money to the crude you are selling, no petroleum crude exporting country talks about subsidy. Nobody. You can't harvest cassava in your house and you sell it and then buy gari and say you are subsidizing it. Even ordinary barter trade, I give you crude, you give me finished product, is enough. And that was the most primitive economy anybody could practice. Now, if you are talking of all this PIB bill and the implication and what the law says, it's annoying for a product that is available in this country. If they can't refine, let them leave these young men in the Niger Delta. Let them stop calling them illegal refineries to produce for us, and be willing, if they like, let them regularize them. We'll be willing to subscribe to those ones and not to block us from any source. And then you have talked about Dangote refinery. Why are we not ashamed that an individual constructed a refinery and the country, the nation, Nigeria, cannot construct a refinery? Why are we trying to move into a dictatorship of the refineries, of the market. Why are other millionaires in Nigeria not refining? If you have 20 people or 10 people refining, then you can talk of a deregulated market. You can talk of competition in the market. A market where only one person is a player, you have a lot of problems. So that is the issue. The Port Harcourt refinery you mentioned,
yes,
for clarity, we are promised that the refinery will come into stream by December. It didn't come. We are told by February again. It didn't come. They are now telling us by December. It's endless.
Comrade Ajaero,
so who is fooling
because
who?
of time, allow me to ask you, these discussions will continue according to the spokesperson of the federal government. So what are the representative of the federal government, I beg your pardon. So what are you saying with regards to that, the conversations with the federal government?
Well, the conversation, one thing Labour has done is to be available if it is feasible for us to be available. Yesterday's conversation was based on benefit of doubt. Because while they invited us for that meeting, NNPC went ahead to dish out a kind of pricing template, which is unfair. And I don't see if the success of the next conversation, if NNPC does not withdraw that, because you can't negotiate at gunpoint. There must be goodwill. There must be negotiation in good faith.
All right.
That is what we have asked for, so that we can talk. We can look at alternatives, and there must be alternative for Nigerians.
All right. Comrade Ajaero, we're sure going to continue this conversation, or maybe on another program. Thank you so much. It's good to have you on the news.